Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at day 4 of our zine project in conjunction with Brian Crimmins, CZT's amazing book, Zentangle Dingbatz Patterns and Projects for Dynamic Tangled Ornaments and Decorations. I love this book. It's awesome. And so we're going to get into another page on our zine project today. Zentangle is an amazing, beautiful gift, and we are sure enjoying ourselves today. I thought we would work on frames and embellishments, since that is something that I feel I could really use some improvement on. And so I'm thinking of using a circle as a frame first, and then if I have room, I might put some small, simple things on the ends. We'll see where we end up. So I'm going to start out by sketching lightly in pencil my version of a circle, and I find I'm a little better at getting this sort of decently rounded if I shift the position of my paper as I go and leave the stroke of my pencil as similar as possible for each edition. Let's see how that looks. It's actually not bad. And so I'm going to do my inner aura, and I'm going to leave a really sort of thick border here because I want to start today by decorating the frame a bit using some embellishments. And then maybe I'll put something extremely simple on the inside. So that sort of looks like a life preserver. Fun. And then I think on the ends, I will just put 2 small, simple rectangles. Something like this. Like that, and do the same here, or do I want a different shape? No, I think we'll go for symmetry today. Since that's really what we're all looking for, we'll try to put some asymmetry into our symmetry. Thank you guys for all of the wonderful comments. I want to give a Simba shout out to, is it Sammy? Okay. So I think this is where I'm going to sort of start, and I'm going to start here in this center circle. And I'm going to today do something a little bit different. I'm going to use my brown pen, but I'm also, instead of black today, let me see what color I've got. I believe this is sepia, or it might be, I think it's sepia. So I'm going to use sepia and brown together on this tan paper. And these are both 0.1 microns, sepia and brown. And I'm going to mix this frame up a little bit here. And see, I love these two together on tan paper. Color-wise, sepia is a sort of brownish black. So I think I'm going to start by adding my very natural line in here, allowing my the weight that I'm using on the pen stroke to vary a bit, allowing it to be wiggly and a little bit out of control. I'm going to lift my pressure every now and then to get my special deckled edges. All right. So now I think I'll add my inner one, and I'll take a little more time with this and try to keep it fairly consistent width-wise. I don't mind if the overall shape isn't perfect, but I do want to keep my borders for these two as consistent widthwise as possible from the edge. So that's that's extremely natural, isn't it? Let's zoom in a little bit. Now, I want to add a very simple tangle to this frame. Okay, I was thinking of using tipple, which would be actually very cool addition to this, especially if we did it in a sort of overlapping, abundant way, so it was really thick in here. We could also use one of my favorites, which is Garlic Cloves, to do that same sort of effect in here. Other suggestions lend themselves to this. We could also put shaddock in here. I'm going to start by putting an aura on the inner edge of each of these. This is going to be used to sort of separate whatever we do inside of this with the outer edges. It will help keep things from looking too cluttered. Again, I'm not sweating my deckled edges here. I'm just sort of my deckled edges. By the way, Sue Reynolds, I adore you for that comment. I will thank you forever for it. I appreciate it every day. Anyway, back to it. There we go. All right. And if you got some of those gaps in there that are too long, just stick a little dot in there. Just like that, you've got continuity. Okay. All right. So, interesting stuff. Now I'm going to do another one. Do I want to do it here? And yeah, I do. I want to do it here. I could also, if I wanted to maintain this much width here, I could put that on the inside here, but I think I want to give myself a little bit less room here to work in, so I'm just going to put it up here. I love all my new friends from Germany and the Netherlands, and my new friend from Denmark. Thank you so much for dropping the comments and telling me where you are. The more you drop the comments, the more likely I am to remember who you are, because I have an old brain who doesn't always remember the important stuff. I need to start making those mental snapshots, don't I, of y'all's names and the puppies and kitties' names. Little Sammy. You should see this dog. He is so cute. Or she. Anyway. Love those little fluffy faced babies. Is there anything better than puppy breath? I don't think so. Maybe kitty breath. Alright. I'm going to switch to my brown pen now. And in this, you probably can't tell the difference between the sepia and the black particularly, but it is a little bit... It's dark enough to get some good edging, but it's still light enough or brown enough to really work well with the paper. So I thought I would give it a try today. I did something called a flex tangle on this cardstock. I think it was last year. And something I need to put the tutorial up on YouTube for. And I loved the sepia and brown mix on that paper, so I decided to do it. Wow, I've got tongue tangleitis today. I decided to do it again on this project. Okay, so in the middle of this, I think I'm going to, I don't know. This could do, okay, I know what I'm going to do. For those of you who were at the who participated in my first Zentangle meditation, we did something similar to this. I believe that it's similar to Helen Williams Bloom. It's also similar to Garlic Cloves, and it's very zenful, so I should be able to fill this area easily enough. and I can put these in whatever length or direction I want them in. So I don't know if this is technically anyone's tangle, but it is very similar to Bloom and to Garlic Cloves. And let's see. But I don't want to limit myself by putting a label on here and feel like I have to handle it in a certain way. Now I'm going to let my shapes be small or large or whatever makes me happy in that moment. We're about to meditate right now. Just kidding, guys. Although I strive for a little meditative quality in all of my videos, because I just think life is too short to get all stressed out. Let's see what we got here. There. I think I'll put some little orbs in here and just black the edges. I really love the brown microns, because the more you go over an area, the more densely packed it looks. And so you're able to put some depth in there just by adding in a little bit more ink. And I love that quality in the brown pens. And once again, I'm not saying that these pens are exclusively what you have to use. They are absolutely not. Any pens that you enjoy using and that feel good to you are fine. Just these are nice for their archival ink qualities and that kind of thing. So, okay. So Brian, in his book, talks about, in the book Zentangle Dingbatz, talks about the decorative qualities that you can have with the frames, and that is something that I feel like I have not portrayed in a good enough light. So I really wanted to focus on that part of it today, and we'll see when we get done what happens. I want to thank you guys for all of your wonderful comments, both about Simba and the videos, and about sharing this journey with me as if a friend were there. I got the loveliest comment. I want to say it was from Germany, but I can't remember for sure. But just about feeling like they don't, by watching these, they feel like they're not doing these projects alone. And that is just the loveliest comment ever, because when I sit down to make these, I feel like I'm not making them alone either. I feel like y'all are with me. And I think that's a lovely part of the community that we're developing here. And I just want to figure out a way for us to have a little bit easier time of communicating. Maybe, I don't know, we'll figure something out as we go. There are a lot of features on my channel now that have been unlocked that were not available to me before. And so I'm still experimenting with a lot of that. And so as I learn and grow with my new capabilities here, we'll be adding features as I can. I am looking for some of you who are bilingual or multilingual. If you would like to add captions to any of these videos in your language, that would make it possible for others in your country to understand these a little bit better. I have German in addition to English, but I'm not sure I'm still fluent enough to comfortably do these interpreting wise or linguistically and have them turn out in a comfortable way to listen to, if that makes sense, language wise. It's not that I can't express myself in German, but coming up with all of the right terminology and things, because Zentangle will have some specific terms, like the tangles are called musters. And so just things like that. And so if you would be interested in adding a language of captions to these, something that you love, I would love, love, love to have that happen. If you can't find the way to do that, I believe that option is available to anyone on this channel. Captioning is still something I need to work on for all of my videos, because I create these as strictly a mobile creator, meaning that I use a mobile device to record and upload and everything. That means that I'm not on my computer, which means that a lot of the capabilities that the creators that use computers have are not available for me. So I am still trying to get all of that together. YouTube is furiously upgrading all of their features so that they're better for creators like me, and unfortunately they starting with the computerized version of that, and so the mobile capabilities are a little bit limited right now, but I am positive that those features are on their way. And anyway, captioning is one of those things that I'm not able to do mobily, and so I have to find a computer that will run well enough for me to get on and use it. And that is a little bit frustrating. But anyway, it's something that will really, because we have so many countries watching this, it would be something that would really enhance this experience for other people. And if you would like to participate in doing something like that, I would be very grateful for your help. Someday, if I can stop shaking long enough to sign again, I will make a sign language version of these. Put a little box of me interpreting myself. That would be kind of weird, but I could do it. It has been a long time since I tried to interpret, and I'm afraid my hand shaking might just be crazy. So I've got half of my frame here. Sort of took off on a tangent. I've got half of my frame, and you can see this makes a very nice effect, right? Really pretty, delicate. The brown isn't as overpowering and overwhelming as if we were to fill this with sepia or black. And so I really like where we're going. I'm going to keep filling this in. I have gotten many comments that thank me for not speeding these up, and so I am going to continue as I have done. Many of you during the 100 Days Project gave me that particular comment, and that those comments have helped me to understand better what you need and want and appreciate about these videos. And that has helped me to really find my voice and my sort of style, if you will, of doing these, if you can call this a style. But it is sort of a voice, if you will. My way of handling things has really solidified itself since the 100 Days of Zentangle Project this year. And it changed the way that I looked at my videos. And I know that when I started, I speeded a whole lot of videos up because I was so concerned by the fact that people weren't watching them all the way through. I thought I needed to make them faster. What I didn't understand then, that I understand now, is that I needed to make them better. What I needed to do was form a connection with you guys instead of worrying about things like the speed. I needed to worry more about what you needed from this experience and what I could give you that would be more helpful to you. And the not speeding up thing was a big one. And I appreciate everyone that gives me feedback, whether it's positive or negative. One of you back in the 100 Days Project commented something about where I was placing the tangle names on the thumbnails, which is the picture that goes along with the video that you see when you're thumbing through your YouTube page. They told me that where I was placing that was covered up by the timestamp from YouTube. And I had not realized that, and so they weren't able to read the pattern names. So I switched that around, and they were so appreciative of that. But I want you guys to know, if you have suggestions for things that would make these videos more clickable, more watchable, more enjoyable, I want you to tell me. I want to hear from you. So please do not be shy. Do not worry about hurting my feelings. I want your feedback, and the more feedback you give me, the better these things are going to be, because I want them to be something that you will enjoy. And one of the things that has been the most meaningful to me is the fact that you guys have really appreciated them. And so I get a lot out of that. If I'm sure you can imagine, that is very fulfilling for me to know that for in the first place, some of you find these very relaxing. That has helped me in so many ways. The fact that some of you have said that you feel like you have a friend, that also helps me to just keep being me and keep being quirky and keep, sharing my weird life. And I feel like I've made so many friends. And you guys, I may not see you every day, but I feel like I see you every day, if that makes sense. I feel like we meet here every day. And that is such an awesome feeling, especially for someone who is rather trapped by their physical situation. And it makes a big difference for me to know that y'all are out there and you think about me and you're positive, and I love the fact that you share your pets with me and your trials and the other things that you're going through in comments. I love it. Judy Morgan is especially good at leaving comments that make me smile, make me think, and she is someone that I've come to really appreciate through these videos. And we don't know each other outside of this, but she has been a supporter for me for a long time, and so I get to know y'all through your comments. And so I want you to keep doing that. Keep telling me about yourselves. Tell me about your pets and your worries and your issues with Zentangle, or your problems with projects. And if I can help, I will. Now, the bigger the channel gets, the tougher that's going to be. But for those of you who've been around since the beginning, and again, something I'm understanding about the YouTubers that I follow, hello, I got a little crazy there. But something I'm understanding about the YouTubers I follow is that they really do know their community through comments, and I think that's a really powerful thing for y'all to understand, that you can help create change here on YouTube just by leaving your thoughts and comments for the creators here, and that's a powerful weapon. And a lot of the changes that YouTube has been making lately have been directly about giving you, the viewer, more power and a better experience, a better way to give creators feedback, a better way to, get YouTube to serve you the content that you want. And I think the changes for you guys are going to be excellent. And for me as a viewer, will be excellent. And so any of your thoughts and comments are very much appreciated. All right, I rather like my little misshapen thing here. It's quite, I like it. It's very hand-drawn quality-wise, but how pretty would this be on the back of an envelope or something, right? So I'm pleased with where we went on this. Now, for the design in the middle, I'm gonna go back to my sepia pen, and I want to do something very simple that does not take up all the space, I think. So, do I want to put a ribbon through here? Do I just want to... I know what I want to do. I want to do something extremely simple. One of the examples in Brian's book. Not exactly an example in Brian's book, but a la Cindy. That can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. It just depends on the day. All right, so we're going to start with a little baseline wiggly thing. And then I'm going to put a simple henna drum in the middle here. I'm going to put a little highlight in there, maybe. We'll see. There we go. And let's see. All right. These long enough. All right. So for the tips, I'm just going to go something really weird and wacky. And we'll just pretend that goes over the top. All right. Cute. Let's see what we can do to the inside of this to dress it up a little bit. Just these tiny little things right here. Sort of perk it up. And then some of these. Not always my best thing, but this is very forgiving kind of a thing to do once you have the effect in place. If your lines are a little wonky, it's all right. Now, this is a little bit overwhelmed by the frame, I think. We're definitely going to need some shading, but I think I'm going to add in an aura. Just to add some interest or draw some attention, maybe, to this henna drum, which is very pretty. I just think the density of the outer tangle is a bit much for it. Now let's dress this up. Hey guys, I'm going to have to break this video up into 2 parts for you again. It was a little bit too long, and I am going to see you tomorrow for 2 end designs and some shading.